Since the passing of the No Child Left Behind Act in 2002, there has been a consensus that classes such as physical education, music, and art are seen as non-essential and secondary to the academic outcomes of the school curriculum. The Center on Education Policy performed a national study in 2007 that with the passage of the NCLB Act in 2002, 62% of elementary schools and 20% of middle schools have extended the time of instruction for reading, language arts, and math by undermining other subjects like social studies, art, music, PE, and recess by as much as 44%. The instructional time in these subjects was decreased by more than 30 minutes per day. PE has often been seen as insignificant or secondary with regards to other types of education. It is often seen as an equal to gymnastics and calisthenics, with schools deeming them as unnecessary and are only parts of children's private lives. Today, PE concerns itself with students in states of play, of sports and games, dance, and exterior school activities.
Despite these beliefs, the benefits of having a physical education program are far more significant than the drawbacks of it. Physical education, especially in elementary schools, is vital because it helps to counteract the increase in unhealthy living styles. In the last 30 years, the percentage of overweight children between the ages of 6 and 11 has more than tripled. This is partially due to the increasing sedentary lives that children are living. An average of 3 hours of TV a day is watched by 8 to 14-year-olds, and an average of 8 hours is spent plugged in. Counteracting these unhealthy lifestyles is especially important during the elementary age years because the risk of remaining overweight from childhood into adulthood increases from 20% at 4 years old to 80% by the time the children are adolescents. This is another reason that physical activity should be encouraged and required in schools. However, schools are actually stunting physical activity by requiring students to walk anywhere they go, sit still during class, and move slowly. This lack of movement contributes to the increase in overweight children and obesity. Recent studies show that approximately 33% of American children are overweight and 17% are obese. According to the Enhanced PE Task Force created by the Illinois Public Act 97-1102, in Illinois specifically, almost 1 in 3 children are obese or overweight. Obesity and overweight, even in childhood, is linked with long-term cardiovascular risks like high blood pressure, adverse serum lipids profile, and an altered glucose metabolism. Other health risks include, but aren't limited to, type 2 diabetes, asthma, emotional issues, orthopedic problems, cancer, and sleep apnea. Schools need to be encouraging physical activity and requiring physical education because there are significant health benefits. Physical activity in childhood lends both immediate and long-term health benefits. Some of these health benefits include, but are not limited to, an improvement in blood pressure and blood lipid profiles and an increase in bone mineral density, which can then aid in the prevention of osteoporosis in adulthood. Even just extending PE nationwide so that every kindergartner gets 5 hours or more of physical education a week would decrease the prevalence of overweight children by 60%.
Physical education and physical activity are not only beneficial for physical health, but also mental health and cognition. There is evidence that shows there's a link between physical activity and an improvement in concentration. Evidence also shows that when students participated in vigorous physical activity, they had significantly higher grades than students who did not. This correlation is also stronger for girls than for boys and stronger for those from higher socioeconomic backgrounds. There is even evidence that shows there is a positive relationship between physical activity and cognitive and executive functioning. This means that students are better at organizing and prioritizing tasks and information. They also have enhanced learning, memory concentration, and mood. A 2010 study even showed that students who were in the healthy fitness zone on the Fitnessgram were more likely to meet or exceed in the math and reading categories on the ISAT. Students with increased physical education even have a better self-concept, more impulse control, less depression and anxiety, less stress, and more self-esteem. They also, on average, fall asleep 15 minutes faster than their peers who are sedentary. The reason these cognitive functions are enhanced is because physical activity causes the brain to release certain hormones that are very beneficial. When being physically active, the brain releases hormones that provide energy, improves memory, enhances focus, helps attention and mood, and improves thinking and working memory. Physical activity also increases the amount of information retained by students and helps the comprehension of abstract concepts. Since 80% of students are kinesthetic learners, physical activity incorporated with learning provides a good alternative to sitting all day while enhancing learning and using different learning styles.
However, just having a physical education program isn't enough. It needs to be a quality program, and activity needs to be integrated into the general education classroom as well. Physical education contributes to the overall development and growth of all children through movement. In order for this to be done well, PE needs to have developmentally appropriate activities for the ages participating, indirect competition and cooperation, and teach skill and fitness improvement. Skills that are learned through physical education should be locomotor, non-locomotor, body management, and manipulative, as well as rhythmic activities and fitness/wellness concepts. Not only should physical activity be included in PE, but also in the general education classroom. Having one break a day during PE, or even 2 breaks if there is a recess, is not nearly enough for elementary students. Students should have at least 2 15-minute breaks a day, but it would be beneficial to have more. Oftentimes, there is a misconception that these breaks are bothersome, cause problems, and are a waste of time. In reality, these breaks give students a chance to socialize, practice cooperating and competing in a healthy manner, and enjoy some activity. Giving students these breaks will also help prevent them from being disruptive later on, as they had a chance to talk and get some energy out. These classroom breaks can be short, typically 3 to 5 minutes, and still provide significant benefits. They can be done right in the classroom and can be offered periodically throughout the day. They also allow students to see their teacher being active, which causes them to be more likely to be active and participate. Health fairs can also be done to help promote physical activity. This could involve parents and public and private health organizations such as fitness clubs, sporting goods companies, the YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, medical supply companies, insurance providers, and more. Another great way to promote activity is to set aside entire school days to have organized activities that involve moving, such as play days or a worldwide day of play. Students should have at least 60 minutes a day of physical activity at a moderate to vigorous level according to international guidelines. The school is a great setting for starting prevention programs and promoting healthy behavior patterns. This is because children spend most of their days at school, and healthy living needs to be implemented at a young age. It also provides a safe environment where children can be easily addressed by specifically trained educators. Overall, studies show that having a quality physical education program helps students have better health, be better learners, and have better behaviors.
Despite the importance of having physical education programs, many schools don't. Research was found that only 16 states required a specific type of physical activity in PE during school. The overall variation in physical activity per week was 60 to 300 minutes. Because of the lack of physical education, only 42% of children ages 6 to 11 years and 8% of adolescents ages 12 to 19 met the physical activity requirements of 60 minutes per day. National organizations recommend 150 minutes per week of PE for elementary schools, 225 minutes for middle and high schools, and 30 minutes of physical activity during the day. They also require kids to be active for at least 50% of the PE lesson. The states that require PE vary: 43 out of 50 states during elementary school, 40 during middle school, and 46 during high school.
There are numerous different activities that promote moderate to vigorous physical activity in PE classes in the enhanced PE programs versus the old PE programs that meet Illinois' requirement. The sedentary lifestyle has had a significant effect on the children of Illinois. A national survey conducted in 2007 on children's health detailed that only 3 states, Mississippi, Georgia, and Kentucky, had higher childhood obesity rates than Illinois. Through considerable research, the task force revealed that children who are more physically active in PE class throughout the day and during recess excel better in their academics as a whole. On standardized tests, their behaviors in a classroom setting are better, and they have better health outcomes.